Hi, and welcome to Behind the Badge. I'm Chief Ed Dunne, and thank you for joining us. I thought this show I would dedicate to kind of recapping what happened in the Falmouth Police Department in 2017. It was a busy year, both call-wise and community service-wise for us. So that's what I wanted to dedicate this show to. And to start out with, I want to talk about two retired officers who passed away this year. So it was sad for the police department. One of them was retired Chief Paulino Rodriguez. He was 89 years old when he passed away. And Chief Rodriguez, I worked for Chief Rodriguez when he was a sergeant here, then when he was a captain and a commander, and I worked with him as a chief. Really an individual who was dedicated to the Falmouth Police Department, and it was an enjoyable time working with him. And it was just sad. I was glad he was able to enjoy many years of retirement with his wife, who is still alive, and we'll miss him. So we had our honor guard and department participate in his funeral, and he will be missed. Another individual that passed away this year that I also had the pleasure of working with was Thomas DaCosta. His son currently is Lieutenant Doug DaCosta, works here in the police department, and I worked with Tommy as a patrolman here. Tommy worked on the evening shift back when I was on the evening shift when I first started. Another individual who gave a lot to this community and was a dedicated police officer, and he also will be sorely missed. So it was sad times here in the police department, and they passed shortly, real close together to each other. So, but that was one of the sad times in the police department. We had a lot of happy times. We're going to talk about that in a few minutes. The police department as a whole. We just recently had a retirement. Officer Norman Adamson, after 31 years, retired. And we just hired this past Monday on the 11th of December here. We hired a lateral officer. Lateral is, we're a civil service department, if you remember, and we can take officers, we can hire officers from other departments. They just lateral in. And this officer came, he lives in Falmouth, and he worked for the Watertown Police Department. And we're happy to have Paul. His name is Paul Whiting. He just started here on the 11th, on Monday the 11th, and he's in a little field training program. Even though he's been a police officer, he needs to learn how we do things here in the Falmouth Police Department. So really happy to have Paul, and that kind of brings us right back to the number. We lost one, we gained one. So we're at 58. We're at 57. We're funded for 58 officers. So we're down one, and we'll be calling for a civil service list to do some hiring very, very shortly. So we'll have another new officer. And I'll probably have Paul maybe on one of my shows here so I can introduce him to the community. So looking forward to having Paul here. Had a busy summer. I mean, right now, our calls for the year, we're at 34,775 calls for the year 2017. And we still got a couple weeks, so we're probably going to break the 36,000 call for service. And calls for service could be anything from someone's locked themselves out of the car or locked themselves out of the house, or they just want to speak to a police officer about a minor problem, to major crashes, to burglaries, robberies, or anything like that. But we're a busy community, folks. 40. It's not a little summer town anymore. We're busy year round, and that's a lot of calls. It's more than last year, but thankfully nothing really what you would consider major in those calls. Just very serious calls, but nothing major. So, but on a happier note, the police department's been very busy with a lot of different projects that our officers actually give back to the community. Some of these projects we'll start with the Pink Patch project that we had this year in October. If you remember the Pink Patch project, it started in California, Seal Beach, California, and what it was to raise awareness about breast cancer. And in the month of October, our officers were allowed to wear pink patches on their uniforms. We also sold the pink patches and sold hats with the pink patch on it. And I'm really pleased to say this was the first year that we did it. We just recently gave Cape Cod Healthcare, the Clark Cancer Center in Seaford Women's Imaging Center, a check for $3,165. And couldn't have done it without this community, because you as a community came in, purchased these patches, a commemorative patch, and these hats, and all those proceeds were given to the Clark Cancer Center, and they were very happy to receive that money. And next year we hope that it's going to grow. We hope it's going to grow Cape-wide. My vision is that all the police departments will participate, and again we'll keep the money local by giving it to the Cape Cod healthcare system. You know, Falmouth, we were fortunate to start this year. We were the 135th police department to sign on to the Pink Patch Project. I just had to look at the website yesterday, and right now there's over 269 police departments in the country that participate, and quite a few of them in Massachusetts. So it's really just a way that police departments across the Commonwealth as well as the country to bring awareness to a disease that can affect 1 in 8 women. And it also affects men. So just something that we were happy to do. And again, the men and women here in the Falmouth Police Department participated. And our cruisers also participated because we had pink patches on the cruisers too. So it was a great program. And we look forward to doing it again next year. Some of the other great programs that we do, Citizens Police Academy. We tried to hold a Citizens Police Academy this fall, but we only had 5 or 6 people that had signed up for it. I know people are busy, but we're not giving up. So please watch our website, the Falmouth Police website, the Facebook page, and Twitter. We'll probably have something in the spring, because right now we've continued to take applications, and that number's growing, and that's something that we want to do. And it gives you, a citizen, an opportunity to really get an inside look at your police department. You get to learn the procedures, you get to see all the equipment that we have, and I think the most popular part of it all is you get to go for a 4-hour cruiser ride, and you get to see what an officer does, because the police cruiser is actually the officer's office, and you get to see firsthand what he does, he or she does. And so please watch our website for that. One thing that we did start, and that also started on Monday, is again this year, which was very successful, is the Junior Police Academy at the Morse Pond School. Fun program. It's similar to the Citizens Police Academy, except just geared for the age of the students at Morse Pond. We're not talking about operating under the influence with them, because they don't drive, and hopefully they don't drink. But we do talk about cyber crimes and bullying and things like that. They don't get to go for a cruiser ride, but we do bring the cruisers over there and let them play with the lights and the sirens and things like that. And they get to see the equipment, we do the canine demonstrations. So they pretty much get the same program, but it's just geared towards them. Very popular with the Morse Pond School. From what I understand, there's a waiting list. We're going to do one. It started Monday on the 11th, and that will end probably in the spring, and then we'll start one from the spring to the end of the school year. And again, very successful program the last couple of years that we've done that. So we look forward to doing that. Something else that we participated and started this year was the Special Olympics. Special Olympics is an awesome organization, and what I participated in August was what they call the Special Olympic Torch Run. What that is, you have to donate money to get your cruiser involved in the torch run. And so I donated some money, and myself with probably 10 or 11 other police departments here on Cape Cod participated. And we all met at, it was on a Sunday, we met up at Friendly's Restaurant in Sagamore, and we caravanned up to South Shore Plaza. Up at South Shore Plaza, we met up with other police departments who were also participating in the torch run. And once everybody was gathered, we then caravaned with blue lights on through Boston into, I believe it was Needham, at another school that we met up with more police departments who were participating in the torch run. Once everybody was together, we blue lighted and sirened into Harvard Stadium where the Special Olympics were going on. The Olympians were out there to greet us. I believe there was over 246 police cruisers that participated in it. And it was just an awesome sight. But the best part of the event was once we parked our cruisers, they broke us up into groups into the different events. And we got to medal the Olympians. So I went to the aquatic section with a few other chiefs and spent about an hour over there giving medals to the Olympians who placed. And just a great event. And that is something that we're going to continue doing here in the Falmouth Police Department. And to take it another step, while I'm talking about Special Olympics, is a new program that we're started is Tip-A-Cop. What Tip-A-Cop is something that the Special Olympics have done, and we're going to be doing it at the BBC. We've partnered with the BBC. And what that is that we have officers who will be in uniform or at least have some identification that they're police officers, and we're going to be celebrity or guest servers. So we will work with regular servers at the BBC, and we will serve you your dinner, take your orders, clean your tables. And all tips that evening will be going to the Special Olympics. So again, I'm really proud of the men and women in the police department that are going to be participating in that. And I'm really happy that we can help the Special Olympics in their endeavors to raise money to have these Special Olympics. So, stay tuned. Look forward to seeing people at the BBC. And I know we're probably going to do a show or hopefully get some footage of our officers working hard, serving dinner at the BBC. So that should be a good time also. Another great event was really popular was Hi5 Fridays. It was Hi5 Fridays. Our officers went to the elementary schools. It all started with one Friday and upwards of, I think it was 38 to 48 police departments in southeastern Mass that we decided we would go to elementary schools and greet the kids when they came to school. It's another way for the kids to get to know their police officers and for the police officers to get to know the kids so that the kids aren't afraid when they see a police officer. So we did that. It was so popular, and the requests, Falmouth has 4 elementary schools. Most towns have 1. We have 4. So when we did it, we had to do all 4 elementary schools. They wanted to do it every Friday. Kind of difficult. So what we did was, since we had 4 elementary schools, and there's usually 4 Fridays in a month, we picked a school every week, and we went and we did Hi5 Fridays for that. So again, really popular. The kids loved it. The officers that participated enjoyed it. And it was just fun, just another way to get to meet the kids and bond with the kids. Another event that is sponsored by the patrolmen, the Federation, is we have a policy in the Falmouth Police Department, most police departments do, about facial hair. Here in the police department, you can have a mustache, but we don't allow beards, and it's for safety reasons. People say, why? Well, because sometimes we might have to wear a gas mask or something to that effect, and it doesn't seal properly, or you get involved with different chemicals that we go through it. So it's just not safe. So the policy is we don't have beards. But in the month of November, we have what's called Growvember, and the officers are allowed to grow beards. However, they have to pay to grow those beards. They donate money. And this year, they elected to give the money to the senior center. And the officers, some of them looked very, they looked very good growing the beards. Others, the whole month, probably had a tough time. I don't know. Everybody's different, but it's a lot of fun, and that's what it's all about. It's about fun, and it's about giving back. And I'm pleased to say that they raised $1,650, which was their idea to give to the senior center, and we were happy to give Jill Bishop that money the other day. And I learned from Jill that that money will go to seniors that are in need. It's not just thrown into a pot of money and then dispersed. It actually goes to seniors who need that extra, who might need some money for food or whatever. And Jill does a great job over at the senior center, so she knows who needs what. So it was awesome. And so there's another $1,650 that will go to a worthy cause here in the town of Falmouth. And it's all because of the men and women here in the Falmouth Police Department. And the women do support it too, even though they don't grow beards. Some other programs that were really successful and things that was our National Night Out open house. This year was phenomenal. FCTV was there to record it, and we're happy. And it's not just the police department's open house. We invite the fire department. We had the Coast Guard. We have the sheriff's department and the DPW. There's something there for everybody, as well as different organizations who can participate. And that's where we invite you here to the police department. And again, we show you your police department. You get to talk to police officers, look at the equipment, learn about your police department, learn about services that are available to you. And we also cooked food for you. We cooked hot dogs and hamburgers. We had pizza here. And that is all because, again, this great community. All that food is donated by local merchants here in the town of Falmouth. And we couldn't do that without them either. But again, another successful event. Fortunately, we've had great weather. So again, that we'll have it again this year. It's the first Tuesday in August. So if you missed it this year, please do try to put it on your calendar and come next year. We'd love to have you, give you a tour of the police department, and you get to meet the officers. And we also have a dunk tank, so you get to dunk an officer. I was in it one year. I did not go in it this year, but who knows, maybe next year. Shop with a Cop. Another great program for the youth in this community. We do it twice a year. We do it around Christmas time. We just had it. And we also do it for back to school. And again, the men and women in this police department make it happen. The sergeants unions, the lieutenants union, the federation, and myself donate money. That money is then given in gift cards to students that are picked through the school department. We speak with Superintendent Nancy Taylor to find out, which students are deserving of it. And when she picks those, or the teachers pick them, we take them to lunch. And that's done by the way, all 15 departments on the Cape participate in this Shop with a Cop for both events. The back to school, we take them to lunch, and then they go to a store with the officers and buy backpacks or sneakers or school clothes, whatever they need. And at Christmas time, we do the same thing, take them to lunch, and then go out and they get to pick out their own gifts, and some of them pick out gifts for their moms and dads, and that's great to see. But again, it's just another way of us getting to know the youth in the community and the youth getting to know us. So, anytime we can do that, it's awesome. And again, it wouldn't happen without the men and women in this police department who give that money so that these students can go out and do that. So, great event. Something new that we started this year was Coffee with a Cop. Again, a program that you can go and meet your police officers and you can talk about an incident that may have occurred with you, talk about football, talk about whatever you want to talk about. It's just a setting that isn't normal for us to be in. Normally you call us to your house, we're at your house, or you're at a crash scene. This takes that all away. It's just one-on-one with your officers, and we've been very fortunate. Again, this business community is awesome. We've done it at Starbucks, Coffee-O, Jack and the Beanstalk, the Quarterdeck, Dunkin' Donuts. Thank you. Again, couldn't do it without you. Again, watch our Facebook page, watch our web page for future ones. Just a great time, and you get to really know, we get to know the community at a different level, and you get to know your police officers at a different level. We just finished up something that we've done for 5 years, and that is stuff a cruiser. And I'll say it again, I can't say it enough. This community really has a very large heart, and they give. We took actually more than that, we took 3 full pickup truck loads, as well as I think 2 other pickup truck loads of officers using their pickup trucks of toys to the Falmouth Service Center. We partner with Walmart, great partner, and we did it for 3 Saturdays, starting I think it was just after Thanksgiving we did it, and a couple hours a day. Again, I can't say enough about this community. People come out of the store, you see them pushing a carriage, and you think they're going to take one package out and then give you a game and walk away. They actually leave carriages full of toys there. It's a great community, and that's what's nice about working as a police officer, as a police chief here in this community. It's a pleasure because everybody wants to give back. And from what I understand, speaking with the service center, they got so many toys this year that I think they limit the amount of toys that go to each family. What we were told the other day was each child will be able to get at least 5 toys a piece. Phenomenal. Phenomenal for a family that's in need. So, you know, that just says a lot about this community, and we look forward to continuing that in the future also. So, you know, very busy time here in the Falmouth Police Department. We're doing, you know, a lot of busy service work. That's what you're paying us to do, and we enjoy that, and we try to keep the community safe. And then all these other little events, those are things that are above and beyond that we enjoy doing. It's a way for us also to give back to the community and partner with the community, because we couldn't do it without the regular citizens or the business community. So, you know, it's been a full year. I know next year is probably going to be as busy. At this point in time, I really just, you know, want to say thank you to the Falmouth community and all the citizens, our visitors, who are also part of our community for a short period of time. And I want everybody to have, you know, hope everybody has had a great year, and I wish everybody a great 2018, and everybody have a safe holiday as we move forward here. And in just closing, I just like to say that, you know, the world's changing a little bit. We just saw some things just recently that happened in New York and across the country. So as we've always said here, if you see something, say something. So it's a partnership that way also. It's a partnership in keeping the community safe and keeping everybody safe here in Falmouth. And no matter where you are, you travel. So that's the message that we as police chiefs want to get out to everybody, to the citizens of the Commonwealth, that if you see something, say something, report it. So that pretty much wraps everything up for 2017. And if there's, you know, anything else that we can do for you, please reach out to us here at the Falmouth Police Department. So for now, stay safe, enjoy your holidays, and thank you.